So, welcome to Saturday Nights with Seven. I'm your host, Seven, and you're along for the ride. Currently, we're on Colfax Avenue in Denver, Colorado. Chilling out, enjoying it, having a good life, doing all the amazing things that we have to do to make a living. Good times indeed. I am absolutely fascinated by emergency lights. You see red and blue, and your mind immediately goes, whoa, what's that? Because you know what that means. There's been an accident, or somebody's injured, or something's happened. Red and blue doesn't come on for just anything happening, It's always some big event. And really, I just look for any opportunity to stare at, traffic things that are happening. Probably a really bad habit to be in, because, that split second where you're distracted trying to rubberneck and see what the hell happened, or see if anybody's injured and lying on the ground that you can see, that's the moment where you hit somebody, or you yourself get hit, doing something stupid by somebody else who's, of course, freaking rubbernecking. And so the whole thing just chain reactions. I'm sure so many wrecks have been caused that way, where somebody's, all distracted by red and blue, and then causes the need for more red and blue lights to suddenly show up on the scene. But hey, at least the paramedics were already there. You didn't even need to wait for them. We are living in an age, my friend, where we are experiencing the extinction of manual transmissions. Everyone these days is driving automatics, and you know what? Shame on them. There's nothing quite like being able to do shifting with your right arm, or left if you're, for some reason, able to import some JDM monstrosity, or, if you drive an old MG. I don't actually know if we ever imported left-hand or right-hand drive MGs, but I'd like to think we did. Fact check that for me. Did we ever import right-hand MGs? And that was the answer to that. I'm sure I'll edit that in later, because I'm totally efficient like that. Anyway. Yep, just another night where I am the only person on the street driving with a manual transmission, and it makes me proud. It makes me happy. It makes me ecstatic to be part of that dying breed. The people that go kerclunk every time that they need to change gears. It makes you feel more connected to your car. I've always thought that, driving an automatic just really feels boring after a while. You're just kind of not involved. The car is doing all the work for you. You're just kind of like steering and aiming, this 3-ton monstrosity down the road, right? Nobody cares. Nobody's paying attention to you. You're not paying attention. It's really easy to get distracted. But with the manual transmission, you're kind of a little bit more involved. You have to be focusing. There's clutch to be had, and then there's shifting, and then what gear is going to be the correct gear for what I'm doing? Do I need more power? Do I need a downshift? Should I upshift to save gas? So many things you can do with a manual transmission that you can't otherwise do. Manual transmissions are good. So whenever I'm driving these long nights for the ride-sharing service that I can't talk about, I always take with me this little thing right here. I don't know if you can really see it that well. It's a little stuffed fox. Super adorable. It was actually a gift I gave to my fiancée, but I may have stolen it back because it's adorable, and, you need something fun to play with when you're bored and talking to yourself. So, you're like, hey there, Mr. Fox, and he's like, I don't know what that means, Mr. Fox. Okay, fair enough. He makes a really good point. See, it's things like this that really help prove that you're going completely mental. I actually bring this up only, he's been along for all the other episodes of Saturday Night with Seven. You just didn't know. I bring him up tonight just because tonight, for the first time, I saw an actual proper taxi cab that had a giant stuffed tiger in the back, and it made me feel super happy. I'm like, hey, we have something in common. You're a taxi cab driver, and I'm more or less a taxi cab driver, and you have a stuffed animal, and I have a stuffed animal, and, we're friends. Although he would probably interpret that more as a threat, or just, make an angry scowl at me, because he's probably not the most friendly individual. Unfortunately, taxi cab drivers are not always the nicest to drivers for ride-sharing services, largely because, oh, check this out. You're going to actually get to watch an ambulance pass me here. You can probably hear that. Oh, no, he turned. Never mind. I wonder if you could see that in the reflection. But yeah, taxi cab drivers don't like us because they interpret us as having taken business away from them, which is entirely true. But at the same time, I feel kind of like a weird kinship between us. You know, we're just all drivers in the night in Denver at approximately 3:45 p.m. Actually, no, 3:45 a.m. If it was p.m., it'd be light out. That's how you can tell the difference. Did I mention I'm going mental? I think I did. So there's that feeling sometimes. That feeling you get when you waiting all night for something. When something's been occupying your mind for a while and you've been thinking about it incessantly, nonstop, constantly thinking about how much you want that one specific thing. For me tonight, that was Popeye's chicken. Because up in here in Denver, they have this late night special thing going on. So you get a leg and thigh, 2-piece, not a drink, no, nothing else included, just the chicken for $109. Which doesn't sound like that killer of a deal. Okay, it's a freaking amazing deal. It's like the best thing ever. And that goes from 11 o'clock to 3:30 a.m. on Sunday, or basically Thursday through Saturday nights. And this being Saturday night, it's the last night that I can get it up in Denver. Not that I'm going to be, cruising around Denver on a Sunday night that late anyway. Point being, I had been like, that was my treat for myself tonight. That was what I was going for, man. It was everything I was looking forward to. I was just waiting for 11 o'clock to roll around so that way I could just drive over to Popeye's and get myself, 4 pieces of chicken and biscuit and some water and just chow down, man. Go to town, have a ball, enjoy life, live as an American, be real, man. It's gonna be okay. This chicken is gonna make everything okay, and it didn't. It was actually a real bummer tonight, because I think the thing about when you're wanting something so bad and when you're anticipating something literally the entire night leading up to it, you can kind of psych yourself out. You can make it better than it's actually going to be. Okay, that and the actual chicken was burned tonight. I love Popeye's chicken. Popeye's chicken is probably one of my favorite places in town, but tonight it's a little burned. Not gonna lie to you folks, wasn't too stoked. It definitely put a damper on my evening, because I was looking forward to this chicken, and then when you got like kind of a fryer burned chicken, it's kind of not so great. It's a real bummer, definitely a real bummer. But you live with what you got. You enjoy the things you get. I think that's the best way to live life. So I'm sure you've noticed the talking sections on this are slowly getting longer and longer and longer and longer and longer, to the point where it's getting obnoxious. I'm sure I'm trying to avoid hitting that pothole. Denver streets are actually surprisingly well maintained compared to Colorado Springs, but that's a different topic for another time. Part of the reason why my topics are getting so much longer and I'm rambling for, longer periods of time in one section without the in between is because I actually got a note back from the Dillard, who I showed one of the original episodes to, and I was like, hey man, you like this? Is this any good? And he says, yeah, I think you should actually expand on your topics more, because you have a bad habit of just getting rolling on something and then kind of forgetting about it, which, totally truth, he's right on. He's spot on. My ADD means that a lot of times I lose interest in topics or move past topics before I've really totally fleshed them out. So right now, I'm exploring the newfound awesomenity that is rambling on a single topic for a longer period of time, to try and make it more entertaining for the folks like you that are watching, even if it is me just rambling for a longer period of time about how I'm rambling for a longer period of time, which is like weirdly meta. But you gotta have something to do when it's early in the morning on a Saturday night. So spooky. There's a cop. I probably actually shouldn't be recording this while there's police present, because I'm sure they can see there's just this weird lunatic kid talking to himself in his car. Oh great, he's turning. Okay, I don't think he's coming towards me, but he's staying in the area around me. He just ducked down an alleyway. What's that guy doing? He's got his cop light on there. He's scanning around for some creepy people wandering through. But me, I'm not creepy. I am just a glorified taxi cab driver. And really, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters.